We're going to call the meeting to order now. This meeting is being recorded by committee chairs. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. The purpose of this meeting is to prepare agendas for subcommittees for council consideration. No discussion or comments will be entertained unless requested upon the committee chairs. Can I get a roll call, please?
President Gilmore,
Here.
Vice President Gwynn,
Here.
Councillor Disorder,
Here.
Councillor Elmer,
Here.
Councillor Forgy,
Here.
Councillor Ricketts.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. So the first thing I have under notes is return to in-person hybrid subcommittee meetings for council and training of hybrid meetings by committee chairs. I actually have a question about this because this got voted down at full council last month. So I know I can't come up for a vote for the next, for 9 months after that. Does that mean we can't change it here?
Wait, no, it got, what do you mean voted? It got voted that full council in person, remote on Zoom, right?
Right. But Councilor Lapinski had brought up a motion to do all of our meetings in person, and that was voted down. So it can't come up as a vote again for 9 months, but I'm wondering if we could make changes here in the next 9 months, or if we have to just wait.
I personally don't think we should make any changes because 13 people voted.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just curious if it feels different in 6 months, we wouldn't be able to bring it up there.
I believe the answer to that question is, in regards to meetings, it's really up to the chair. And if you decide to make a change in that venue, that would be Robert's rules. So if you asked the committee chair's opinion and they said, it's time we go back, and you thought that was there, you could just change them. It doesn't have to wait 9 months. That would be my belief.
I was just wondering if this would come off of President's notes altogether.
Yeah, I would take it off President's notes for now because it's kind of a,
Also, the state changed the rules, so we've got till next year.
Right. Okay. Well, 13 people just voted, so I don't see any reason to make a change. I just wanted to kind of clarify that point, but
good question.
We're gonna leave that there. Next was sidewalk ordinance. Ginny, I know you were working on that one. Is that ready for prime time yet?
No, it's not. I think that we'll have to get the plows. I'm going more that way in my head. I can't see how this is gonna work with the fining. But that's just
Okay.
Do you want me to keep this under President's notes, or do you want to just take it off and then when you're ready we can put it back?
I think we could take it off for now, please.
Perfect.
All right. I just don't want to keep like calling you out on the carpet every month.
It's okay.
No, yeah, let's take things off that we don't need on there. It's just, yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, so next is meeting to discuss policing in Greenfield. So Penny, you had asked to talk about this, so go ahead and take it away.
I just want to update on everything with the police department. I don't want it to be a discussion at chairs. I just want to know, do other councilors feel like they want to hear an update to full council? If not, then let's not even discuss it any further.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna get a discussion no matter what. Acting Chief Gordon is gonna come to our August meeting, and he's gonna talk to us about some ideas that he has about staffing.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out if it makes sense. Yes, a full council.
Okay.
What I'm trying to figure out is, I know we're also inviting, we're going to invite Fernando to talk to us about Zoom technology. So I'm trying to figure out what order makes the most sense. Maybe Fernando should go first, because that'll be a little more cut and dry.
Right.
Fernando might be busy putting the meeting on the air, so maybe not first.
Yeah. Plus he works all day too. So I'd like him just to come talk to us briefly and then just be on his way, you know, because if we're up and we're running, we're good. If we're not, then we need him another moment. But other than that, yeah, there's no need to have him there.
Okay, so that's that. Next is 7.7 and 7.8. So Dan, if you wanted to talk to folks about your idea.
Yeah, really good news on 7.7 and 7.8. I worked with Kathy and we reached out and we found the best way to proceed to work 7.7, 7.8. And I am going to form an ad hoc committee of appointments and ordinances, which is a committee that will be made up of 2 counselors, 2 people representing the mayor's office, and 2 people from the public with a chair. And their task will be to look into 7.7 and 7.8 and come to a kind of a platform to bring forward and air each side on ideas and come forward with some changes or what they've come up with for 7.7 and 7.8. I have 5 of the 7 positions in the ad hoc committee filled, which is really nice. We have from the council, Catherine Golub and Derek Healy will be representing the council, one from A&O and one from there. From the public, we're going to have Al Norman and Isaac Mass. And David Singer has agreed to chair as the 7th vote. And the mayor's office will be putting 2 candidates forward. And acting Mayor Letourneau might be able to tell us if there's any changes there, but I know they will have their 2 members and they will have time to review 7.7, 7.8, share ideas. They will come to a consensus and bring it forward to A&O and then on to the full council. And I think it'll be a diverse group. We got a lot of great minds, and I think it'll come back with something that is put forward by the public and the people, and both the yeses and the nos, and they'll come together and we'll move forward and it'll come to full council. It'll be an advisory capacity to A&O and then A&O on to full council.
Great. Oh, good job.
Thank you. Sheila worked with me along the way on this, and the council office worked with me on this to make sure we didn't know how we had to go, and Kathy got a hold of the state and they said it should be an ad hoc committee from A&O. And then I wanted a diverse group of people that had different opinions, and I think we've got some of the best minds in the topic to work this out for us. So that'll be in the future. Sometime in August, I hope to have the committee start to decide how they want to meet and how they want to determine their meeting. The mayor and I will not be on the committee at all. We will have oversight and allow the committee to act independently.
Perfect.
The
mayor will have those 2 appointments next week, by the way.
Thank you.
Great.
Right. Next, I have the proposal to establish a community task force from Councilor Bullock. I think that this one is in a holding pattern right now because the mayor's out. I know that Councilor Bullock was going to be. Oh, is she back?
No, she's out, but everything that you need to place it on the various committee agendas is here. I believe you have everything you need to make sure that at least moves to council this month.
Oh, I thought they were going to have another discussion first.
Yeah, they are going to have another discussion when they get back. Just some clarifying things, but I don't think that it will change the substance of Councilor Bullock's proposal vastly. So you should.
Okay, great. So This should probably go to A&O first then. I'm thinking.
Oh, wasn't it a money piece, I thought? No?
Yeah, I believe it was at Ways and Means because of the financial obligation.
Okay,
Yes,
okay. Ways and
Yeah.
Means then.
okay.
Okay.
I'm not meaning to dump it on you, Counselor Forgy. I just know it's the money.
It's good. It's all good. Thank you.
If at any point we get through the financial piece of it and it needs anything from A&O, then
Piece, so
we'll take on that piece.
Okay. Okay, then repurpose $57,955.54 is gonna go to A&O.
Yes.
Ways
So
and Means.
Fernando is being invited to our next meeting.
Counselor Gilmore, President Gilmore,
Yes.
the
Yes.
approval to repurpose the 57,000 should go to Ways and Means.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I said?
No,
Yeah,
you said
no,
A&O.
you did
We
say
just
that.
wanted to clarify.
oh, wait.
I'm sorry. I'm at I was thinking Ways and Means and I was picturing Chris. So,
Oh, I thought you said Ways and Means. Sorry.
No, I caught the A&O, but I just knew where we were going with that, so it works.
okay. So that one's Ways and Means. Fernando, we've already talked about this. He's going to come to our meeting and talk to us about Zoom technology.
Okay.
And can I just make a comment on this, Sheila, here? We did receive the letter from the mayor that also said for the August and September meeting that IT would be present for at least the first hour of the meeting to make sure that the Zoom interfaces with GCTV, which was our problem in the past. At that meeting, I spoke on that. So it'll be great to have Fernando there. It's not about anyone's equipment not working. It's about the interface between the two pieces not working. And we need someone in IT to be there to problem solve. And like Penny said, he can come in if we're working, they can leave. It's just getting it going. Once the interfaces have met and they're talking, we can be done. So that's a great piece also.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Audit.
No.
Discussion.
Public
Sorry.
input.
Public input comment at subcommittee meetings. Okay. Yes. Councilor DeSorger. I don't remember seeing this. Can you refresh my memory?
Someone brought that up can you hear me? Someone brought that up to me after the meeting. And I know that happens at CRE. And Councilor Forgy had done that previously at Ways and Means. And because someone asked me about it, I think we have 2 other subcommittees and I'm being the messenger here. People always like to speak, and are we going to continue that at Ways and Means or just people's thoughts?
Yeah, Dan.
It has not been the way we've done things ever. Usually, especially in EDC and A&O, it was by public hearing, and that's when we have a major event. They come in, they talk, they can speak on anything at regular council, and it filters back to the meetings. If Ways and Means invites people, it's usually invited speaking only in subcommittee meetings, except CRE, because CRE is community. That's what it's about. It's community-based. I feel that it is the best way to get business done and move forward at these meetings. And I would stand by that. My opinion only.
If
Yes,
I may,
Councilor. Yes. I saw Penny first and then Chris.
okay, no problem.
Okay, I totally agree with Councilor Gwynn. Our subcommittees is really about getting business done. And if it's something that does need lots of public comment, it would be a public hearing. So it would be addressed then. But we do have public comment every meeting. And we all know our emails are always open. So nobody goes without getting in touch with us. Thank you.
Go ahead, Chris, and then Phil.
Thank you. I did put it on the agenda for a while, maybe about 6 months. And that time, I think we only had one meeting where maybe 2 people showed up. So I took it off. And I agree with what's been said so far. is that the chair of the committee can actually ask for comment. It's discretionary, and I think I'd like to keep it that way.
Okay, Phil, I had you next.
Yeah, someone came up to me after the meeting, and they were saying something slightly different. That it was frustrating that when there is a public hearing, the public talks, but then the council doesn't respond, and there is a stiltedness to our communication with the public in that setting. I'm not sure what to do about it, but I think that's part of the complaint. And what I said was, I think you're talking about a town meeting kind of government, and we've moved on to something different. This is a city government, and it runs differently. I may have that wrong.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Phil, but I'll tell you why it's like this. We don't want to get into a debate with the public, and that's what happens when you have a public hearing where you have counselors reacting. With the council we have right now and councils I sat on before, if you start having interaction back and forth at an open meeting situation, it's asking for chaos. And that's why at a public hearing, it's a hearing, not a public discussion. Yeah, a public hearing is to hear, not respond. It's supposed to hear their opinions and then put them into a meeting and enter them into future meetings. So if you have a public hearing at A&O and people come in and they're talking about an ordinance change, and we all note what was brought up at the public hearing, and we do our homework, then we come forward and we answer their questions. It's to stop a debate situation on any council floor, any format, whether that's why we don't answer the people that come to public hearings or public meeting for comment. It's comment. It's not questions and answers. So there's a big difference in those concepts.
Right. Well, it seems.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Penny.
Okay, yes, I do agree with Councilor Elmer and Gwen. It is the way that it's been set up. It's always been that way. And if we ever head back and forth, believe me, it would be more than chaos. There could be something really negative or rude said back. It could start a fight where a fight doesn't belong. So just as when council tries to decide what we want to do for a vote, nobody interrupts us. I think we should still have that same respect for the public and not interrupt them. So it really works the way it is right now. So we hear what everybody's thinking and they hear everything we're thinking. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dan.
And I was just going to say, the way it has always worked, and I think it still works, is, when someone's speaking, we have very good counselors that respond to people like Ginny and Chris and I and Penny and all of you that go back and I hear a question. I'm not going to answer it then. It's going to do two things. It's going to make me do my homework and figure out what they're talking about. There's many times someone comes and talks at a public meeting, and then I call a department head or, I call the mayor's office, or I call Sheila and I ask questions. That's what it's for. It's supposed to educate us on what the people are looking for. Then we look for the information, and then we bring it forward, and we bring it forward in the form of legislation, because that's our main goal.
Okay. So I like Chris's suggestion. I'm sorry, who was that?
President Gilmore, may I speak to this?
Yes.
I hear what everyone had to say, and I'm just giving the other side of that, is that we vote at the subcommittee meetings, and that decision is then passed forward to the council. And so it does give the public an opportunity before the decision-making body on that subject has given their suggestion. So I always like to hear from what people have to say. It wasn't a debate back and forth. It was an opportunity for people to speak. And I think that's why someone brought it up. It was just, it's not a hill I wanted to die on, but I wanted to give the other side of it, that, you know, if we're voting on how many $1,000 to go to this or that, before we make that decision that frequently sways the entire council, sometimes it's nice to hear. And yes, indeed, we get a lot of email and on a subject, but everybody doesn't do that. So that's my thought. I loved it when Council Forgy did it, and we didn't hear from that many people, but that is the other side.
So I like the idea of keeping it at the chair's discretion, because then it doesn't have to be every month, but if there's something where it makes sense to have input, at least there's the flexibility to get that input. Does that make sense to folks?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so let's try it that way and see if that helps. Is there anything else on this before we move on? Okay, so discussion about reappointments. That one's also you, Jenny.
It was about reappointments? No, it was appointments on the audit. Isn't that what it said? I don't have the agenda open in front of me.
It does say reappointments, but it says reappointment submitted by, I think it's really about the audit, Jenny.
Right. I looked at the agenda before, which I don't have open in front of me. I thought it said audit appointments, and I just, okay. All right.
It starts off with the word audit.
Yeah, it says audit discussion reappointments. So
Ray. Oh, it meant Ray. About, concerning. You know, RE.
Regarding. Okay.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, what planet am I from? It was
Audit's going to go to Ways and Means, so that's where it should be discussed. Right?
So I'm getting not to say anything. Okay, I got it.
No,
Well, no, I mean, why was it put on the agenda? Yes, Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm not hearing from
There we go.
anybody right now.
Ginny sent an email on July 26th and did in fact want to have a discussion about the audit, the appointments of the audit, by the council to, so that was a topic that she wanted to discuss tonight for a little bit.
Okay. So I saw an email from the mayor saying that she's going to be doing all of the appointments for the audit.
no.
That's not what she said.
Could you clarify then? Because that was,
Yeah, I just
that's what I
reread
thought
it.
was,
She said, currently in the charter, let me find it. So what she said was, and I don't want this to get misconstrued. So
Okay.
she just said there needs to be some clarification about how the appointments happen on the task force. Proposal says that the council would appoint the task members under the current charter, Article 3, Section 3.3. It states that the mayor is the appointing authority for all, blah, 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 blah. So I'll be making, so she said she'll be making the, unless you want to make a charter change, she'll be making the appointments. But I do think that she's willing to work with people on getting the folks for this. What is it, task force? I think the letter, I just want to make sure it's not when I read it a couple times, I was like, I don't want people to misunderstand. It is not, it is that the charter says that the mayor has to appoint.
okay. I saw that as that she was going to make the appointments, but it sounds like she's open to feedback from us.
She's open to feedback. She does have to make the appointments right now per the current charter, but just keep in mind that's per the charter.
Okay.
And unless you guys wanted to change that, but that would be a bit of a lengthy process and that would postpone creating this commission.
Yeah.
I just want to be crystal clear on that, you know?
Okay. Yeah, Ginny, go ahead.
So, if it was called an ad hoc task force, would that change how that worked? Because for, I'm just, Counselor Bullock is not here, nor have I spoken with her about that. But I think that to have a chance of making this to the finish line here, I think the idea was a little bit more council involvement. So, that's why I put it on. And thank you very much, Clerk Scott, for bringing that I could speak about it.
A point of clarification, are we talking about, what article are we talking about? For point of clarification, please.
The audit proposal that Councilor Bullock brought up last month, there's, slots for different appointees that fit different criteria.
Okay.
And I think that, Councilor Bullock saw this as the city council was going to make these appointments.
Okay.
But in the charter, it says that the mayor makes appointments like that.
Okay, thank you.
So I think this is one of those things that if, you can work with the committees and Councilor Bullock on the details, but technically, yeah, Ginny, if this was an ad hoc committee, then the appointments are made in a different way. But I don't think the spirit of this proposal, this seems like more of a long-term situation. And typically ad hoc committees are for a short period of time for one topic. This seems like a long period of time, and the way the charter reads now, it is the mayoral appointment. But, Councilor Bullock came to the mayor, talked to her and I about this before she wrote this proposal. I think there's a willingness to figure out the best way to do this without it feeling, adversarial or like so-and-so appointed everybody, so they're not going to do anything. But I think the details have to be sorted out in committee with you guys, and you can raise your concerns and bring them forward,
Yeah, go ahead.
And so for the audit, there will be 2 counselors, and they're appointed by whom? On the actual audit, not the task force.
Yes, Kathy?
So my question is, and may I direct a question towards Jenny?
Please do.
Is the audit that you're referring to the audit that Councilor Bullock is discussing, or are you talking about Charter Section 511 independent audit?
I actually was talking about both.
Okay.
I just penned that off very quickly to get them in by the deadline. And I think my take listening to this at last month's meeting was a spirit of, us working together on this was what would move that forward. So I just put it down because I think it may, having say by everyone, I mean, council and executive, would help for that to move forward.
I saw Dan and Chris.
I think I got you on that one. Kathy, my question is to Kathy. Do you mind this, Sheila? Kathy, I think for clarification, the audit, which was ordered by, that has 2 members, I'm getting confused now. So the audit with 2 members, that's the review audit, not Councilor Bullock's committee. It's the other audit, correct? That has 2 members of the council?
No.
No.
And I could be causing some additional confusion, I admit here. So I'm going to try to nutshell this, and somebody please help me. There's an audit that's outlined in Charter Section 511 that says in the first sentence, the city council shall annually provide for an outside audit of the books and accounts for the city to be made by a certified public accountant. I'm going to stop there. It does continue. That is the letter, Danny, please help me out,
Yes.
that Councilor Forgy and President Gilmore recently signed to allow the same firm that has been doing our audits for the past couple of years to continue to do that audit for the municipality.
Under finance and fiscal procedures. This is a totally separate thing. This is our annual.
And because there was a contract already in place for 3 years,
Right.
so we couldn't switch vendors at that particular time if that was a choice.
And put the period on that, stop there. Secondary topic, same word, audit. Councilor Bullock's proposal. There have been conversations, again, correct me if I'm wrong, about who the appointing authority is for the Bullock audit. I think I just coined the phrase.
Well, I think the audit would be, I think if we want to be really concise with language, the audit is in reference to the outside the outside company's work of reviewing the police department and the procedures. This is a community task force that would work simultaneously as the audit and probably be working in some ways with results of the audit and referring to the auditors and working with them on things depending on the organization. So this community task force won't be doing an audit. They will be reviewing the findings of an audit and other stuff. So if we do that, then it's less confusing.
Okay, and that audit that you were just talking about, Danny, was the audit and the conversation relating to appointments and who makes the appointments, correct?
Correct. Who sits on this community task force that has been proposed by Councilor Bullock? Currently in the charter, it is only the mayor who can appoint it. Unless you wanted to make an ad hoc committee of a current subcommittee, then the councilors can appoint them. But then I don't think it gets to the spirit of what Councilor Bullock was putting forward because it's not long enough and deep enough.
And I see the question that if we have 2 counselors that will sit on that committee, that audit,
Not audit,
the
commission.
Task force.
the task force, there it is. If we have 2 counselors on that task force, does the mayor appoint the counselors?
Typically in those situations in the past, if there is a task force that is being created where council has representation, it's usually the president puts forward the names and the mayor has always said, yeah, that sounds good. I think technically a mayor could say, no, I don't want those ones, but I don't see, it hasn't happened. I mean, I'd have to double check on legal stuff with that, but typically when there's a council appointee to a board, commission, blah, we have other boards and commissions where it says a counselor, the president puts forward the names, the mayor says, cool.
Okay, Chris, I had you.
Thank you. I think we're a bit ahead of ourselves at this point. And while I appreciate very much the concern that's out there, my opinion, we have to sit with Councilor Bullock. I mean, there has to be some mechanism for what she's suggesting to be brought forward. For instance, my thoughts for the Ways and Means piece is, okay, so we have stipends. Who gets them? How are they issued? How are the bills paid? We've got the 40,000 foot umbrella piece, but we don't have the details in place. And that's what I think we all need to work on. But we're ahead of ourselves at this point. My opinion.
No, I think I agree with you because no matter who makes an appointment, someone's going to be upset about someone who's in a stipended position, and there's always going to be the accusations that it was so-and-so's friend or something like that. So we're going to have to smooth that out.
If I may, in Councilor Bullock's original language for the task force, she did put suggestions who would get stipends and who would not. So that's
Oh,
a
I know, but I mean,
starting point.
when we
you know.
name individuals, then it's gonna get down to like, you know,
Gonna need a process.
But
Yeah.
it seems to me that her goal here is to stipend folks who are usually in communities of lower access to being able to leave home, leave work, to do meetings like this, people who are underrepresented in government. And not people like, you know, who are there for work or as part of council service or something.
right.
Yeah, that's for you guys to sort out.
Sure.
Yep. So I'm gonna keep this part under president's notes because this isn't something we're working out this month, right? Does that sound
Correct.
right? So hopefully it's a little bit clearer, and then when we start getting more details, and I think that probably needs to wait till after that conversation with the mayor and Councilor Bullock. All right. Anything else on this before I move on? Okay. Next, I have 45,000 from Fund 8400 for. Wait, the public safety community. Oh, okay. This is the one where we have to take it from the table. Correct?
No, no.
No, this is separate.
Yeah, this is a new financial order, I understand. I believe there is another financial order coming from the mayor, and that's for the $45,000, and that goes to Ways and Means.
Thank you. Okay. I thought we were going to amend it down on her recommendation, but this is probably cleaner.
That's under Ways and Means business. That's the 175. So we'll have to take that in. We'll take it off the table and deal with that at Ways and Means.
Okay, great. All right. Appointments to Human Rights Commission is going to go to A&O. Yes.
President Gilmore, I want that put directly on the full council agenda.
Okay. Okay, because there's nothing else going on with A&O this month, right?
Correct, we will not meet.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So for EDC, Tuesday, August 9th, 6 p.m., parking and bike lanes. Yes, Phil?
I was hoping to give my committee the month off. They've had to do double duty with public hearings with the planning board, and we don't have this set up. We don't have the people lined up. If I could put that off till another month, I think everybody would breathe easier and have a better summer.
Yeah, I think that's fine. This doesn't look time sensitive to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Technically, how do I cancel a meeting? Kathy, do you do that?
I think you just did.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Kathy will let everyone know so that there are no open meeting law violations.
Tammy will let everyone know.
Kathy will let everybody know.
Yes.
Okay. Kathy will make sure it gets handled. Yes. Okay, so EDC is going to go on vacation this month. A&O is also on vacation this month.
Yes.
CRE.
I have just the audit there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also says
Yeah,
housing
so-
in Greenfield.
Yeah, nope. So we're not going to do either one of those. I think the audit needs to be a bigger discussion between the mayor and Councilor Bullock. So I don't want to go ahead with that. That is like a one-on-one conversation, and I feel like they'll bring it to us when they're ready, and housing is not ready yet. So I would like to cancel the month of August.
Okay, sounds good. Everyone's on vacation except for Chris.
Yeah, yeah, my folks. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
The one thing, just looking at everything here, we're all good. The only thing I wanted to mention was the fire department building project. I'd really like to have representatives from that piece come forward. So I'm looking for maybe having David Singer or other members of that committee to come and tell us what's going on, certainly the fire chief. And then bringing us up to date I would also like to have them on the main agenda for the full council meeting as well. I think I've heard some things. I think we need an update. The
That would be
council
fine
needs
with, yeah, that would be fine with me. So you want to invite the fire chief or him and David Singer both?
Yes, David Singer and the fire chief and anybody else who wants to give us an update. If the mayor wants to give us an update, that's wonderful too. But if I could get those two folks so we know what's going on, and then have them go to full council as well.
Okay, so you want them at Ways and Means and full council?
Yes, I want them at Ways and Means, and they, in my opinion, they should go to full council.
Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to have them there.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a clerk's report?
We are in full election mode in the clerk's office. Most of you knew that we were looking to hire for a clerk's administrative assistant. As of the 12th of August, we will also be looking for an assistant clerk. Geneva has submitted a resignation, and we will be hiring for that position also, and she will be greatly missed.
Thank you. I wish it was happier news from you this month.
We're all about happy here. So before you go on to the draft agenda, it sounds to me like under department heads that you're inviting Fernando, IT, the police department, and the fire department. Is that the order in which you would like them to present to you? IT, PD, FD, or is there a specific order that you'd like?
I definitely want IT first because I feel like that's going to be a little bit less time consuming. I think the discussion with the police is going to be longer. Chris, what did you have in mind for fire? Do you think that's going to be like a longer?
No.
Oh,
I just think that, you know, again, there is a delay, okay, in the process, and I just like the council to be informed on that. I don't think it's going to be, you know, a big long presentation or anything. It'll be 15 minutes. Just tell us where we are and financially where we are, and that would be great.
Okay, I had Penny, then Dan.
yeah. Okay, yeah, because doesn't Ways and Means meet before the day before council? Is that how that works? Or is it the week before?
It actually does. It does.
Because I just feel bad for those people needing to be there to listen to the same thing.
You know what, Penny? That's a good point because it's 24 hours away. So yes,
2 nights in a row.
Thank you. Let's revise that. Shall I revise that? It'd be great if they attended full council.
Okay.
And we won't take it in. We won't take it in Ways and Means right now. We might take it next month because of the financial pieces.
Okay. And then Dan, I saw your hand up.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't really have a new business under chairs, but I think in light of receiving Councillor Lapiansky's resignation letter from committees, from all committee duties, that
Wait, what?
somehow that, yeah, we got some kind of letter from Councillor Lapiansky saying he was no longer going to participate in any committee meetings, that he was resigning from the committees or such, and that causes a lot of issues. And I, regardless of who did it, the work is done on the committee level. So if someone's not at the committee level, then they're not going to be as prepared as going in and knowing exactly the work behind it. It's going to lead to more questions and more work. And then I think there's a level of what's fair. I think, there's a lot of counselors that are serving on 1, 2 committees. If they all just threw their hand in and said, I'm not coming to committee meetings anymore, we wouldn't have a council. We do have rules and procedures that say that if you miss 10 meetings, whether in a fiscal year, whether that is a combination of regular meetings or committee meetings, it's up to the president to bring forward that to the full council, and it needs to be discussion. I think this, at some point needs a discussion. Sheila, you're going to have to look into this, because I think the resignation from the committees in some ways is a resignation from the council, and that needs to be looked at. If you can't participate in the committee level and work aside your fellow councilors, then I don't think you're upholding the duties of a councilor. So I think it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, yeah, you sent it to us.
I'm thinking, it's one thing to be flexible with somebody who has, a personal matter or, health issues, and they can only serve on one committee. I mean, we have people in this meeting right now who've had to, step in and out for various reasons, but there's been a commitment, and I feel like we honor that commitment by allowing people flexibility. I don't feel like that's necessarily the case that you're describing right now, though.
And it won't
I don't think it's fair normally the president doesn't sit on a committee, but I sit on one right now because there were some concerns at the beginning of the year. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, we need to have a longer discussion about this. Yes. Does anyone else have thoughts? Because I'm still sort of formulating my opinion here.
Well, let me reiterate a couple other things that you just said. That's going to leave us short in committees. A&O will now have 4 members, because you're short a member, and then CRE is the other committee, which is not as much of a policy making committee, but it still leaves Penny with 4 members, and then it just contributes to that piece. So that and we do have a rule that talks about 10 meetings. And then, I would also say a lot of it initially was talked about when not being able to have Zoom or whatever. We're provided laptops from the municipality in order to participate in meetings. We have our notebooks. So it's not like it's someone's fiscal reason that they can't attend a meeting via Zoom, because the equipment's provided. So just a couple of pieces.
Okay.
Penny's got her hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
Was it me?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, but remember, the reason why he's not coming to committee meetings is because we will not go in person. He states that if we go in person, he'll come back. So I agree with you, Councilor Gwynn. We've done everything to make life easier for everyone on council. This is just, he will not come unless it's in person. So, yeah, we do have to talk about it. But for some reason, I feel like the 10 meetings only has to do with full council. But Clerk Scott might know that better. I'm not sure.
Yes, please.
So a couple of things. I apologize to you, Sheila. The email went out, but you weren't included in it. So I'm sorry. I did just send that to you just a minute ago. Chromebooks are provided if you choose to sign one out. And to my memory, some counselors did not all choose to take the Chromebooks. They're either using their own laptops or they're using their own items or not. There's a piece in the rules of procedure, that's what Councilor Gwynn was talking about, that says 10 meetings inclusive of regular meetings, subcommittee meetings, that the council president shall bring notice forward, for lack of a better phrase. That's not what it says, but that's what's in my head. And the ordinance says for the stipend that the meetings that are to be counted for the stipend are are regular meetings. That has always been taken to mean council regular meetings, not subcommittees of the council. So that's all we've ever counted for the stipend, were the regular council meetings. Did I miss anything? Okay, good.
No, I think this is going to require some more thought and discussion. I'm concerned about how the work gets done. If, you know, I mean, we all kind of rely on each other to, you know, I'm not on Ways and Means, and if I can't attend a meeting, I can at least hear what the results of their vote happen to have been. So I can, I'm sorry, I feel really unprepared here. Let's talk about this at full council. We'll have a discussion with everyone present. I would like that letter to go out to everybody so that they're aware.
I can send it out right now if you'd like.
That would be great. Yeah, and I could see in the email there was a question for me if you wanted,
Yeah.
if I wanted it to go out. So yes, I do want it to go out.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I did get it. How did I get it then?
Because you were the chairperson of on a committee that this counselor
Oh.
served on.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, can we have IT first, then fire department, because it seems like that's going to be fairly quick, and then police, because I feel like police is going to be a longer discussion.
Okay. I'm actually gonna have Tammy send this email out tomorrow, because I just noticed that I am missing a couple of counselors on my list.
Okay. That would be fine. Okay, other than that, everything on the agenda looks good to me, but let's have a discussion under new business about expectations for committee work.
Great.
Under new business. Thank you.
And then
Yes, Penny?
I have a question for the clerk. Yeah, I have a question for the clerk with the election season next month. Do any of our meetings, is it going to be a problem with your staff? Should we already be thinking about that a little bit?
So committee chairs, as it usually does, falls on election day.
Oh,
So-
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be at committee chairs next month, which is fine. You know, you all can handle the meeting and we find out what's going on the next day. Other than that, there shouldn't be a problem.
So your whole staff won't be at the election?
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Okay, all right,
We're working
thanks.
on getting things done.
Perfect. Okay, I know we have time. I'm just thinking ahead that I know this always, something happens in September.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I'm
Thank
glad you
you.
mentioned that because I forgot about that. So we've handled this different ways in the past. I know that there have been times when we've rescheduled committee chairs. I don't think we've ever canceled committee chairs. That's probably not prudent.
True.
I suppose we could meet. What I worry about is starting up the meetings because I know that you're the host and that's been challenging for some of us. Oh, Danny, do you have a suggestion?
Yeah, I mean, typically somebody from city, an employee is present. So usually me or the mayor or somebody from finance usually comes to chairs. We could probably work with Kathy to make sure that somebody will be here to start the meeting and make sure that the IT works okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it that way then.
Okay.
It's probably less, it's probably not as complicated as rescheduling.
Right.
Yeah, I'll put it on my calendar to make sure right now. I usually come to committee chairs, so I think not always, most of the time.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mayor.
Perfect. All right. So everything else on the draft agenda looks good to me. I think the order looks fine. Did anyone else have anything else before we head out?
So is it correct that on the council agenda, we're going to list each amendment to the rules of procedure separately so that we make sure we take them one by one? So we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
that's all I got. Thanks.
great. Do I have a motion to, go ahead, Phil?
So moved. Motion to
Thank
adjourn.
you. Okay, so we are adjourning at 7 PM. Have a wonderful night, folks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.